guys? It's Sep, and today we are going to be going over the Gyrfalcon's Hauberk. Listen, alright, I don't know. It's too late. A stream for a bunch today. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Okay, I give up. Anyways, this is the build that we're going to be going over today. It's the build that I've come up with, and I'll tell you what. The Gyrfalcon has a couple of benefits. Let's go over all of them for PvP. This is just PvP. As far as the PvE stuff, there's a whole bunch of extras, but I think you can make enemies volatile. It gives you reserve overshields. It's very cool. But for PvP, it makes it so your weapons gain a bonus to damage 15% briefly after you emerge from being invisible. So this means that it is not your first shot after or while invisible. If you break your own invisibility, it is not that shot. So you can do one of two things. You can shoot to break your invisibility and then go for whatever kind of kill that you want, be a body shot with a sniper or a headshot with Ariana's. It's a little more awkward to time if you do it that way. So what I recommend is that you combine its 15% damage buff that is completely free whenever you break invisibility with something that will actually break invisibility, be it Arbalist, which can one-hit body with low resiliences. Not exactly the most ideal because not a lot of people run low resilience anymore, or fusion rifles. Fusion rifles already are very, very strong, and when combined with Gyrfalcon, make them incredibly consistent. I am having a ton of consistency with the Snorri, and if it's a very small map, I use a Cartesian. It is making it really quite incredible. The reason it doesn't work with shotguns is because you have to break your own invisibility to get that damage buff. Also, fully automatic weapons. Yes, it can make a hand cannon a 2-crit 1 body if you are really consistent with it. It's a little bit harder at times since your first shot won't have that damage buff. And then, of course, pulse rifles, it'll make it so it 2-bursts just a little bit more often. But I'm finding a fully automatic weapon much more beneficial. Also, Rat King is hilarious with this thing. If you get a kill with it, then you get to go invisible for free. And every single time that you break invisibility, you get a damage buff. But every time you get a kill, you go right back to invisibility. It is fantastic for Rat King, but I'm not a controller player, so Rat King feels very awkward for me. It's just not really, we're not really hitting the same. So I highly recommend that you guys try this out. If you do play controller, if you play PC, give it a go anyways. It's very fun, but I've been running Submission. So you can run the Deliverance Fusion Rifle, and you can run like Shire's Wrath or something, but I don't have a good Deliverance, so I'm running the Snorri and a Submission, and this is incredibly strong. Any opponent that you engage will just know you're there because as soon as you break your invisibility, the time that they would have to react, you are going to consistently kill them. It is basically Omnioculus, but more aggressive. Yes, you can use it to play defensive, back of the map or whatever. You can make it so a 180 scout rifle always 3 taps, but I highly recommend that you guys give this a go because it's much more fun and entertaining. As far as the Shinobu's Vow video I was talking about, that'll be the next one to come out, but this is a very fun exotic, so I wanted to go over the build. Vanishing Step, Trappers, Echo of Leeching, Dilation, Persistence, running Snare Bombs, Void Spikes, Strafe Jump, Gamblers. Get that invisibility up as much as you can. 100 mobility is a must. You should have high strength. I just didn't really feel like... Dim's going real slow right now, so this is kind of a lazy build. But ideally, you would want 100 mobility, 100 recovery, and really high strength. I think that would be your best build, but this one works just fine. And then these are the mods that we are using. Also, if you guys like the drip, it is kind of crazy today. I found this armor, and it just seems to kind of go with the chest piece very well. I like it a lot. Let me know what you guys think. But let's hop into a game, and I will show off the build. Alright, looks like we had a game of Cauldron. Cauldron's super close range map. Should we switch Cartesian? Nah, I'm gonna stick with the Snorri. Stick with the build. Don't want to change it around too much. Play of the game's also the only GL I can have equipped right now. It is the Unbroken Triumph. The damage buff after you break invisibility lasts about 3 seconds. It says 2, but of course the 2, shows a full 2, so it's actually 3. Didn't have the damage buff for the second one, so of course whiffed just a little bit. Did this guy just hurt himself? What is happening? I don't really have a lot to say on that guy, so let's go ahead and go invis. Wait for this guy to challenge us, and we do have the damage buff, so we are going to completely whiff this kill. Never mind. Let's get our health back. We do have Soul Drinker if you're curious what that little bit of health was. And I'm basically just trying to get that invis up absolutely whenever I can. A lot of people are going to be pushing us, so we'll use that to our advantage. Okay. Yeah, that's just a situation where play of the game did not save us. Had to try to shoot all 3 of them since there were 3 people around me. Just kind of an awkward situation to get put in, but I wanted to see if I could get away with it. Okay. Almost got meleeed off that. Okay, that's a bow. Thankfully, the damage buff actually did save us there, because we only hit part of that. Just taking whatever chip damage I can get on the bow from far away. It's very hard to win with an SMG from that far away otherwise. And we would have got that kill if we had the damage buff. Sadly, we did not, and he had the teleport melee. Just caught us. Okay. We are completely surrounded at the moment. See if we can get out. Looks like a no. That's alright. Just going to try to play as slippery as I can. Was really hoping for an arc exotic, but at least it's a really good void exotic. They didn't come out with anything like that nobody's going to use. Do not have a damage buff, so I'm just going to try to primary somebody. We are surrounded again. Keep tapping people, get them away from us. This is a little awkward, so I'm just going to see if I can run away from those 2. Do not like being cornered. There are 2 outside fighting right now. See if I can at least clean up one of them. He was full health, so glad that we did end up having the damage buff. Let's try to get that special. I'm clambering. Little weird. Let's go ahead and make sure that we're going invis again. That way nobody looks over here. We're able to take out the thorn perk before it shot us. Have a couple of invisibility abilities coming up. Gonna go ahead and push in. And just really using it to get as much forward momentum as possible is what I would recommend. We are surrounded again. See if we can get them to fight each other again. Oh no, they took it. Maybe? Maybe. Oh no, it was Osteostriga. No! That's fine. Finishing off a game with the matchmaking changes has just been kind of tough. This is the Storm Trance. I would like to stay away from. And there we go. So it helps you lurk around the map as well as push the enemy very consistently, and the damage buff applies after you break invisibility, so you can take a fight as opposed to Omnioculus, which protects you when you're not fighting. So I think this is a really good exotic because it allows you to be very aggressive, and it's very fun because being invisible is still very, very fun because you're able to manipulate the enemy team a lot. It allows you to play more the way that I would want to as opposed to extremely defensively, but of course if they are pushing you, you can kind of lurk in an area, try to bait them into a smoke or something, and then you can push them that way. So it is good for defense, but I highly recommend you guys give it a go for offense. It is extremely fun. And yeah, the Gyrfalcon's Hauberk is definitely one of my favorite hunter exotics right now. I don't know if it'll be a problem. We'll see in the future. It might end up being a little bit of a problem. I know the sidearms, you know, combined with it are pretty strong right now, so we will see. But I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.